CJ, first question's coming from AJ McCord with Coin 6.
Sorry, couldn't find the unmute button. CJ, so obviously this is just not at all what you wanted to see with Nurk tonight. When did you learn about it, and how do you guys regroup from here?
I learned about it during the game, that he broke his wrist, hand. I'm not sure what the exact diagnosis was, but it's terrible. Nurk is a huge part of our team. Obviously, he's been through a lot historically, personally, and with injuries, so you never want to see it happen to anybody, especially him. But it's tough. The season still goes on. It waits for no one, so we got to figure out a way to continue to move forward. Obviously, Indus has been big for us in the past, so you'll have to step up. Harry will have to play some small ball. We'll do a lot of different stuff, but it's going to be by committee. A lot of people are going to have to play larger roles, and it's a part of the game. It's an unfortunate part of the game, but it's going to be a challenge, and I'm looking forward to seeing how we respond to it.
Next question is coming from Nick Krupke with KPTV.
CJ is obviously teammates for a while now. But you guys are certainly friends first. How do you even go to approach Nurk on a night like this where you know that he's just so down in the dumps yet again?
Just ask him how he's doing. We're all humans at the end of the day. There's a lot of stuff that goes on beyond the basketball stuff. So just seeing how he's doing mentally, just trying to encourage him. But it's tough. There's not much you can say. I've been injured, so I know what it's like. It's mentally exhausting, physically draining. You feel disconnected. There's a lot of stuff that kind of goes through your mind, and especially in a pandemic. So there's a lot of other issues that you're facing from a lifestyle standpoint. So I'm sure it's tough, but he's a strong individual. And the good news is that it's just a hand injury as opposed to something worse. He's been through a lot more than a hand injury.
Next question is coming from Jason Quick with The Athletic.
CJ, anything you can draw off your guys' last time you had to deal with Nurk being out a large chunk of time?
It was a while ago, but just defensively, understanding the coverages are different. Obviously, Nurk is a huge part of what we do at the rim. He's great at the rim. He can guard in a lot of different positions. So kind of figure out our rotations offensively. Obviously, we play a lot for him.
Kevin, I can help you with that.
Well, I'm not doing it right.
Oh no, I didn't want you to.
Offensively.
Sorry, go ahead.
Offensively, we play through him a lot and use his IQ from rolls to hitting the weak side of throwing lobs. So we just got to kind of tighten up and really kind of go back to the drawing board and figure out how we were successful in the past. I think the last time he got hurt for a long period of time was the year we went to the conference final. Yeah. So draw back from some of those experiences, some of those sets, and go from there.
Next question is coming from Casey Holdall with Trailblazers.com.
CJ, Damian had mentioned that, when it comes to injuries, sometimes it's about like letting guys have a little space initially too. How do you go about feeling out how to kind of approach a teammate like that, knowing that you're close with Yusuf? I mean, obviously you and Dame went to the hospital the night that he really hurt himself. So how do you figure out like what balance to strike?
Yeah, I mean, he knows me. He knows how I feel about him. There's nothing that I can do to shift what we've been able to build either way. So respect his space, respect him, on his recovery process, but also just checking in, just seeing how he's doing. I'm not going to continue to ask him, like, how's your hand? And no one wants to hear that when you're hurt, but just more so, how are you doing mentally? How's the family? How's everything coming along? The basketball stuff is what it is. He'll be able to return when he returns, but just kind of staying upbeat, staying positive in a difficult situation. I think that's what's important, but I usually give guys their space. I'll be around when they want me to be around. I'll check when I need to check in. But it's not like we're going to each other's houses now or anything like that. So this is different. I'll call Zach just to see how he's doing, you know what I mean? Just to kind of check in. But at the same time, let them kind of go through the process on their own and then fill in when you can.
You mentioned you make a good point though, CJ, about the kind of the isolation that we're all in already just because of the nature of things. Does that change at all how you approach that, or you just got to let it ride?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to anybody's house
Yeah.
like that anytime soon. I don't leave my house. I go to the gym and I go home. So those are like my 2 trips. But I'll check on him. I think he has some family here who can be around, which is helpful. It's good to be around love when you're going through those types of situations, and I think he has that. So that'll be great. I think Zach's in Las Vegas as well. So it's good to be around family because they can kind of pick up your spirits and help push you along. And then, it's good for the team to just check in sporadically. And that's what I'll do.
Thanks, CJ.
Last question is coming from Jason Quick with The Athletic.
CJ, can you just talk about the options you have now in Ennis and Harry?
Yeah, I mean, thankfully we got 2 good options. Ennis is already a proven player who's been in the league for a long time. You know what you're going to get from him. He's a walk-in double-double, and he's a guy who's familiar with our system. We're familiar with him, and we know what we're going to get from him. I think Harry has a lot of upside. He's extremely talented. He's athletic. He's smart, but most importantly, he works. He works hard. I've watched him since he's gotten here. He's to the gym early. He's on the treadmill. He's getting extra work in. His game is continuing to evolve based on his work ethic, and I think injuries are terrible. I think one of my first opportunities came when someone tore their Achilles. Wesley Matthews ended up tearing his Achilles, and this is a unfortunate opportunity for him to get some minutes to kind of show what he has to offer, and this could turn into something more for him maybe down the road as well.
We'll wrap it there. Thanks, CJ.
Go Browns.